5 grams. Just one scoop every single day. That's all it took to lower my inflammation, shrink stubborn belly fat, and finally start building lean muscle again, even at my age. Look, I've tried every supplement under the sun over the years. Most of them did absolutely nothing. But this one actually delivered real results that I could feel and see. If you're tired of feeling stiff in the mornings, soft around the middle, and chronically inflamed, this might be exactly what your body has been missing all along. Now, I need to be honest with you right from the start. The supplement industry has been lying to you for decades. Most powders and pills promising fat burning, inflammation support, or muscle building are either severely underdosed, contaminated with fillers and junk, or they're just straight-up fairy dust blends that do absolutely nothing for your body. But there's one compound that scientists have been studying for over 30 years now. And when you take just 5 grams of this compound every single day, the human research data shows some absolutely remarkable things happening in your body. Your inflammatory markers, things like C-reactive protein, TNF-alpha, and interleukin-6, they all drop significantly. Your visceral fat, that's the dangerous fat wrapped around your organs, becomes more metabolically active, and your body starts using it for fuel, actually burning that stubborn visceral fat. Your lean muscle mass increases even without changing your protein intake or diet. Your strength goes up noticeably. Those little battery packs in your cells called mitochondria, they get stronger and more efficient. Brain fog lifts and clears up, and fatigue decreases dramatically. You feel more energetic throughout the day. Now, this isn't some new trendy fat burner supplement. This is creatine monohydrate. But before you say, "Oh, I've heard of that before," let me stop you right there. I'm not talking about the garbage creatine that 90% of people buy from their local store or online. I'm going to explain exactly what type of creatine to use in just a few minutes, and why most of the creatine on the market today is absolute junk that can actually hurt your stomach and waste your money. But for now, let me go straight into what the actual human research shows that creatine does for inflammation, stubborn fat, muscle building, longevity, metabolism, and brain energy, especially for those of us over 60. Most people think creatine is just for young gym bros trying to get huge muscles. Oh, that's completely wrong, my friend. Creatine is cellular energy insurance for every single cell in your body. Here's the simplest way I can explain how the right type of creatine works in your body. Your cells have these tiny little battery packs called mitochondria. These mitochondria produce an energy currency that your body runs on. It's called ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. You don't really need to memorize that fancy term. Just remember that ATP is energy. Your body needs it for everything. Now, creatine stores something called phosphate. When creatine and phosphate come together, they create something called phosphocreatine. This phosphocreatine is actually your body's backup battery system for high-demand moments when you need quick energy. But here's the part that nobody ever talks about, and this is crucial. Creatine protects your mitochondria from damage. This is exactly why studies show that creatine reduces inflammatory markers throughout your body. It reduces oxidative stress, which is basically rust forming in your cells, and it reduces muscle damage and soreness after exercise. And this is where the inflammation story gets really interesting and honestly a little crazy. You see, when any cell in your body is energy deficient, meaning it doesn't have enough ATP energy, that cell basically panics. It starts generating inflammatory pathways as a stress response. But when a cell is energy abundant, when it has plenty of ATP available, inflammation naturally drops. Creatine literally helps your cells stay out of that stressed, panicked, inflamed state. Your muscle cells and your brain cells absolutely love creatine because it prevents energy failure in these critical tissues. That's exactly why inflammation drops when your creatine levels go up. The International Society of Sports Nutrition, which is a very respected scientific organization, calls creatine, and I'm quoting them here, the most effective, safest, and most well-studied performance and cellular health compound in existence. And that isn't just marketing hype. That statement is backed 100% by decades of human clinical trials and research. Now, creatine in itself is not necessarily a direct fat burner like some supplements claim to be. But what creatine does do is it turns your entire body into a fat-burning machine. Here's exactly how this works, and there are three main mechanisms. Number one, creatine helps you build more muscle. And the more muscle mass you have on your body, the more insulin sensitive you become, and the higher your metabolic rate becomes. That means you burn more calories just sitting on the couch watching television. Muscle is the most metabolically active tissue you have in your entire body. Human studies clearly show that creatine combined with resistance training increases lean muscle mass, improves strength levels, improves your training volume so you can do more work, enhances your recovery between workouts, and yes, it increases your metabolic rate even in older adults over 60. Multiple meta-analyses, which are studies of studies, show significant reductions in body fat percentage when creatine is combined with regular strength training. Number two, better training performance equals more total calories burned. Creatine increases your phosphocreatine energy stores, so you can push harder during your workouts, lift heavier weights safely, and recover faster between sets and between workout sessions. Number three, and this is huge, lower inflammation means less stubborn visceral fat. Now, listen to me carefully here. You don't have a weight problem. You have a weight symptom. The real underlying problem is chronic inflammation in your body. The reason why you have stubborn belly fat that won't go away, no matter what you do, the reason why you have dangerous fat wrapped around your organs, and the reason you feel inflamed and puffy all the time is because of chronic systemic inflammation. This is a really big deal. Chronic inflammation actively blocks fat burning in your cells. It blocks mitochondrial production, and it reduces the flexibility of your existing mitochondria. And inflammation blocks insulin sensitivity, making it much harder to lose weight. Studies clearly show that creatine reduces inflammatory cytokines. These are inflammatory messenger molecules, and it improves glucose handling in your cells, creating the perfect metabolic environment for stubborn fat loss, especially that visceral fat around your organs. Creatine doesn't directly melt fat off your body. Instead, it removes everything that's blocking your natural ability to burn fat efficiently. That's super cool when you think about it. And here's something really important that most people don't understand. Most people who are overweight or who have a metabolism that's just not functioning well anymore, they're not necessarily over-fat. They are under-muscled. That's right. Not overweight, but under-muscled. Your body doesn't have enough lean muscle tissue. Creatine fixes that problem directly. Human research consistently shows that when you take the right amount of the right type of creatine every single day, you create greater increases in lean muscle mass, higher one repetition maximum lifts if that's something you're tracking in the gym, greater muscle fiber size when measured, increased satellite cell activity, which essentially just means more muscle building potential in your body, improved glycogen storage in your muscles, improved recovery after workouts, and improved protein synthesis, signaling which tells your body to build more muscle. There's a very good reason why all professional athletes, or at least the smart athletes and smart bodybuilders, use creatine consistently. Creatine makes building muscle easier and faster at any age and for any gender. As a matter of fact, and this might surprise you, older adults actually get an even bigger benefit from creatine supplementation than younger people do. One really well-designed study found that older adults taking creatine noticed a 1.4 kilogram increase in lean muscle mass, which is over 3 pounds of muscle, better strength levels across the board, and lower body fat percentage. And here's the thing that really amazed me. Even with no change whatsoever in their protein intake, creatine literally primed their muscles to grow. So if you're watching or listening to this right now and you're over the age of 60 and you've been losing muscle mass year after year, this is even more critically important for you to understand. It's not just aging that's causing your muscle loss. It's very likely a creatine deficiency in your cells. Okay, now what about brain fog, mood problems, cognition, and inflammation in the brain? Oh, this part is going to absolutely blow you away. Creatine isn't just a muscle-building tool. Your brain stores creatine too, and your brain burns through that stored creatine extremely fast during periods of stress, deep thinking and concentration, poor sleep, jet lag, low oxygen situations, and inflammation. Human clinical trials clearly show that creatine supplementation can significantly improve memory function, attention span, reaction time, mood stability, cognitive fatigue resistance, and performance after sleep loss. This is exactly why, when you're inflamed, tired, or feeling mentally foggy, taking creatine makes you feel sharper and more mentally present. Creatine also increases brain phosphocreatine levels, which directly protects your neurons from damage. This is one of the main reasons why creatine is currently being studied extensively for depression, concussion recovery, traumatic brain injuries, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So if you feel like your brain just isn't firing on all cylinders anymore, creatine is honestly the cheapest and most effective mitochondrial upgrade you can possibly take. You see, the name of the game here is lowering inflammation throughout your entire body. A lot of people with inflammatory conditions like arthritis, fibromyalgia, and many other chronic inflammatory conditions have found that creatine supplementation led to better strength in their muscles, significantly less joint pain, and much better overall mobility and movement. Creatine is literally an anti-inflammatory molecule, although it works indirectly through supporting your mitochondria. When you take creatine consistently, and I mean every single day, and you take the right type of creatine, which I'm going to share with you in just 1 minute, you will feel the difference. You'll feel it in your joints, in your back, in your morning stiffness levels, in your daily energy, in your recovery, in your gut health, and in your metabolism. I know that when I started taking the right type of creatine consistently every single day, I felt like a completely different person. I felt and I still feel like a rock star. So if you're feeling inflamed and achy all the time, creatine is very often the missing energy ingredient that your body desperately needs. Now, we absolutely need to discuss why 90% of the creatine products on the market today are complete junk. This is where I'm probably going to upset some supplement companies, but I don't care. The truth needs to be told. When I dug deep into the research and the manufacturing process, here's what I discovered. Most creatine supplements on the market today come from China, where manufacturing standards are much lower. These products have low purity levels. They can contain heavy metals like lead and arsenic. They cause gastrointestinal issues like stomach pain and bloating. They're not micronized, which I'll explain more about in just a second. They have poor absorption rates, meaning your body can't even use most of it. And for a lot of people, these cheap creatine products cause significant upset stomach and terrible bloating. And unfortunately, most of these products don't meet the rigorous standards of third-party testing that I personally would like to see. So I've heard so many people tell me over the years, I've taken creatine before and it hurt my stomach badly and I didn't notice any benefits at all. No, what actually happened is that bad quality creatine hurt your stomach. You see, cheap creatine is created through low-cost chemical reactions in facilities that absolutely don't meet strict purity standards or safety protocols. So what's the fix? How do you find the right type of creatine to actually get all these amazing benefits I've been talking about? You want to look specifically for German Creapure creatine. The brand name is Creapure, spelled Creapure. This is the absolute gold standard used in virtually all the research studies. It's tested batch by batch for purity and safety, and it's trusted globally by athletes and researchers. Creapure has 99.99% purity. That's as pure as you can possibly get. Zero fillers or additives. Zero contaminants. Zero heavy metals. It undergoes pharmaceutical-level testing. It has the best safety profile in the world. It's extremely finely micronized, which means the particles are tiny so they dissolve easily and absorb quickly. And it causes almost no gastrointestinal issues at all. The creatine that I personally use every single day, and I actually just took it this morning with my coffee, is Myoscience micronized creatine monohydrate. This product uses the exact Creapure material from Germany, and then they micronize it even further for even better absorption. And what's really crazy is that this company has had zero product returns, zero GI, complaints from customers, and the powder dissolves beautifully and completely in any liquid. If you want the absolute purest, cleanest, highest quality creatine available anywhere, this is the one that I personally use and recommend. It's micronized for easy digestion, extremely gut-friendly even for sensitive stomachs, and it's the highest purity creatine you can possibly buy. Zero contamination, zero fillers, zero GI complaints from users, just clean, powerful cellular energy for your body. And here's something really special that I want to share with you. I reached out to Myoscience personally and talked to them, and they're giving everyone watching and listening right now a special discount of 25% off your entire order. All you need to do is click the link in the description box below this video, or you can go directly to Benazadi.com Creatine, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just grab your phone right now and scan the QR code that's on your screen and use the coupon code BEN at checkout. You'll get 25% off your creatine and your entire order if you choose to get anything else from Myoscience. You're getting premium German Creapure creatine, the exact same material that's used in all the research studies. I've outlined for you today at a discount you won't find anywhere else. It's just 1 scoop per day, which is exactly 5 grams. It's such a small habit, but it creates a massive payoff in your health. Most of the research out there is based on 5 grams per day, and that's typically what most people need to get all the benefits. If you're feeling chronically inflamed, if you're under-muscled and losing muscle mass, if you're stressed, if you're older than 60, if you're dealing with slow recovery from workouts, if you're training hard, if you're sleeping poorly, if you travel a lot and experience jet lag, 5 grams per day, which is just 1 scoop of Myoscience creatine per day, is the research-backed dose that works. No loading phase required like the old recommendations used to say. No cycling on and off required. Just daily consistency is all you need. And here's exactly what I do personally, and I want to share this coffee hack and stack with you. Here's how I take my creatine every single morning. I'll grab 1 scoop of Myoscience creatine and I'll put it directly in my morning coffee, just like this. And then I'll mix it up and I'll drink it first thing in the morning. When you do this consistently, it builds muscle, lowers inflammation throughout your body, and improves energy and brain performance first thing in the morning. Now, if you don't drink coffee, that's totally fine. You can simply just mix 1 scoop of creatine in a glass of water, stir it up and drink it down. You could add it to your electrolyte drink. It doesn't break a fast if you're doing intermittent fasting. It's completely clean. It doesn't taste like anything at all. And when I travel, or if I feel like I'm overly stressed, or I'm training really hard, or maybe I just have a lot of stress in my life during a particular time, I actually increase my dose to 2 scoops per day, and I'll spread it out throughout the day. I'll have 1 scoop in the morning with my coffee and 1 scoop in the afternoon. You could have it around your workouts, before or after. You could even have it during your workouts mixed in your water bottle. There are lots of creative ways to take it. And when I travel frequently, if you travel a lot like me and you deal with jet lag, taking 10 to 15 grams of creatine right before you hop on that plane or right after you land is actually one of the best things you can do to prevent or overcome jet lag quickly. What's really cool and reassuring is that creatine monohydrate is completely safe for long-term daily use. It's safe for your kidneys in healthy adults. Multiple studies have confirmed this. It's safe for older adults over 60. It's safe for athletes of all levels. And it's safe for your metabolism. So taking 5 grams every single day compounds over time, building up benefits. This is honestly one of the most reliable, safe, and research-backed metabolic upgrades available on the entire planet. Now, before I get to answering your most common questions about creatine, to give you even more clarity, now let me answer your most common questions about creatine. Question number 1. Can I take creatine on an empty stomach, or would that cause stomach issues and discomfort? Well, it depends entirely on the type and quality of creatine you're using. If it's 90% of the creatine products out there on the market, yes, it might cause some stomach upset and issues. But if it's the high-quality Myoscience creatine with German Creapure, I haven't heard any reports of stomach problems at all. I personally have taken it on an empty stomach all the time, and it's totally safe and causes no issues. Question number 2. If I'm already drinking electrolyte water first thing in the morning, can I mix my creatine in that instead of coffee? 100% yes. And by the way, good job having electrolytes first thing in the morning. That's a really smart idea for hydration. Just add 1 scoop of your creatine powder into your electrolyte drink, mix it up, and drink it. Question number 3. How long does it actually take before I feel the inflammation drop in my body or see fat loss and muscle changes in the mirror? Well, it's going to depend somewhat on the individual person. You know, when I personally started taking creatine consistently, I noticed some changes within about 7 days. And then really at the 30-day mark of taking it every single day without missing, those results were even more noticeable and significant. But as you continue taking it consistently over time, the results sort of compound and get better and better. Question number 4. If I'm already taking a whole bunch of supplements like magnesium, electrolytes, and protein powders, where does creatine fit into my supplement routine? It should be right there at the very top as one of your staple supplements. I personally take quite a lot of different supplements. and I rotate off of some, and I use them in a targeted way for specific purposes. But creatine is one of the very few supplements that I take every single day, long-term, consistently, without ever stopping. I can't say that about a lot of the supplements I have in my cabinet, but I can definitely say that about high-quality creatine. So I would put it at the very top of your supplement priority list. Question number 5. What happens if I miss a day or two of taking my creatine? Do I lose all my progress? No, no big deal at all. Just get back on track the next day. I always say to people, it's not about the setback, it's about the get back. Just resume your daily dose. Question number 6. Should I take creatine before or after my fasting workouts? And does it break a fast? No, creatine does not break a fast at all. And if you're going to work out in a fasted state, I personally like to take my creatine right before the workout starts. But even taking it during the workout or after the workout is totally fine and effective. But I personally prefer to take it before my fasted workouts. Question number 7. If I'm doing keto or following a low-carb diet, do I need more or less creatine than normal? You know, the really cool thing about creatine is that it fits perfectly into any dietary philosophy you choose to follow. Whether you're following a vegan diet, paleo diet, keto diet, carnivore diet, or low-carb diet, it doesn't matter. Every single one of you watching should be taking at least 5 grams per day. Now, always speak with your doctor first if you have an existing kidney issue or a pre-existing kidney problem or a history of kidney issues. Always consult your doctor. But the research overwhelmingly shows that creatine is one of the safest and most effective supplements you can possibly take. Question number 8. Is it okay to take creatine at night before bed, or will this mess with my sleep quality? I personally haven't seen it really mess with my sleep at all. Sometimes I forget to take it during the day, and I'm like, oh man, it's 9 p.m. I still need to take my creatine. And I'll take it, and I'll sleep just fine with no issues. So personally, I haven't noticed it interfere with my sleep quality at all. I think it's totally fine to take at night if that works better for your schedule. Take 1 scoop every single day, which is 5 grams per day. And please let me know how it goes for you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And hey, if you enjoyed this lesson, click the video on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next lesson.